Why doesn't Dracula have any friends? Well, honestly, he's a real pain in the neck. Today, I'm going to recap a 2020 crime thriller film called Infamous. A quick warning, there will be major spoiler ahead. The film opens at the scene of active violence. There are bodies, money, blood. Ariel Summers sits in the corner, talking into her phone, saying she believes in fate. She wonders if this is her destiny, as the police rush in. She looks to the camera and says she always knew she would be famous. Before all of that, Ariel is living in Florida with her working mother Janet, who is dating deadbeat Bobby. She loves social media, but has few followers. One night, she goes to a party and is dancing on a guy when that guy's girlfriend attacks her. She gets into a fistfight and beats her up while everyone at the party films the fight. This leads to Ariel getting 147 new followers. In town, Ariel meets Dean Taylor, who is working on his car and is new in town, staying with his dad. Her friends say the rumor is he was in prison. They spend time together at a party, where Dean reveals he was in prison for armed robbery and assault, and that his parole requires him to be with his father since his mother is dead. His father is an abusive drunk. She tells him how badly she wants to get out of Florida and go to Hollywood to be famous. They begin dating and spending all their time together. Dean teaches Ariel how to shoot a gun, aiming at cans. Ariel's friends confront her, saying they heard Dean is a killer, and she angrily tells them off. Ariel finds all her saved money missing and barges in on Janet and Bobby in bed, insisting that Bobby must have stolen it. She begins attacking Bobby, who pushes her into the wall where she hits her head. She tells him she's going to kill him and storms out. Ariel goes to Dean's, where she finds his father beating him. Ariel tries to intervene and again gets smashed into the ground on her head. Dean fights him off and his father goes down the stairs and hits his head and dies. Dean begins panicking, but Ariel calms him down and says they will leave that night and they hit the road. Realizing they have no money, Ariel asks Dean if he brought a gun and they decide to rob a gas station. Ariel live streams as Dean commits the robbery. Afterward, she tells Dean she loves him. The next day, Ariel sees that her new account has 3,000 followers. Dean is angry that she's posting about their crimes, but Ariel says she uses an IP blocker and won't show their faces. She says it will lead to fame and money and getting out. Short on money, Dean suggests they rob a dispensary next. This time, Dean films as Ariel does the robbing. Their crime spree continues throughout the country, and Ariel's account gets over 3 million followers and get more money than they need. Eventually, the police identify them, and Dean and Ariel see their faces on the news. Dean is angry about the social media, but Ariel is elated to be famous. On the road, they get pulled over, and Dean tells Ariel not to start anything. When the officer goes to check their ID, Ariel gets out of the car, and Dean gets out to go after her. When the officer pulls a gun, Ariel shoots him. Ariel and Dean hide out for a while. Ariel gets antsy, losing subscribers and followers and wanting to keep going to Hollywood. Dean thinks she doesn't understand the gravity of what she's done. Ariel says she did it for him, but Dean says she did it for herself and for fame. Ariel goes off on her own to commit a robbery at a gas station, even though they don't need any money. And when a customer walks in, she shoots him. Startled, which gives the clerk a chance to grab a gun and begin firing. He hits Ariel in the shoulder, and she flees back to Dean. Dean is furious since now everyone knows where they are. The police have found them, and they begin a car chase and a shootout. They realize that they left their money in their haste fleeing. Once they get away from the police, Dean removes the bullet from her shoulder. Ariel takes pictures of her wounds for her followers, making Dean angry again that that's what she cares about. Ariel says it's what fate did, and Dean says she did it all. Dean blames Ariel for the whole situation since her coming over led to his dad's death. Ariel slaps him repeatedly and then kisses him. They stop fighting and realize they need to ditch their truck. A woman named Elle is driving and sees Ariel and the broken-down truck. She pulls over to help and Ariel pulls out her gun and says they need a place to stay for a night. Elle reveals she follows Ariel online and that she knew who they were before she pulled up. At Elle's place, Dean asks her why she follows Ariel. Elle explains that her life hasn't worked out and that people find them empowering. Dean tells her no one should want to be like them. The next day, Elle drives them through a police checkpoint. The police make Elle and Ariel get out of the car while Dean is in the trunk. The police open the trunk, but Dean is hiding under a blanket, and they are able to proceed. Once they're through, They give Elle a bottle of water and take her car, directing her to walk back to the gas station they passed and to report her car stolen to get the insurance reimbursement. Elle wants to go with them, but Dean refuses. Ariel takes a picture with her and posts it, telling her lots of people are going to want to talk to her after that. Ariel and Dean drive off. Ariel says Elle could have come with, but Dean says they would have gotten her killed. They then stop at the home of Dean's contact Kyle, who has a cache of guns and drugs with some other men. Kyle's crew has a bank robbery coming up and needs some extra gunmen, but Kyle doesn't want any loose cannons, Ariel. The score is going to be huge and Ariel wants in, but Dean thinks it's a bad idea. He wants to leave and go to Mexico, but Ariel holds firm, wanting the money and for the followers. Dean makes Ariel promise that if they do this job, she will leave with him after. At the robbery, even though Kyle insisted on no social media, Ariel starts streaming it to her 5 million followers. When the money he expected isn't there, Kyle becomes unhinged and shoots a bank worker in the head. When they're able to leave, the cops are already outside everywhere. Kyle realizes it's because Ariel streamed the bank robbery and pulls a gun on her. Ariel screams at Kyle that the 6 figures he promised aren't there. Ariel and Dean get into a shootout with Kyle and his men. Kyle and Dean shoot each other. Ariel rushes to Dean's side as he bleeds out and kisses him as he dies. The movie is now at the beginning, with Ariel talking to her followers on her live stream. She asks if this is her destiny, if this is what she's been fighting for. As the police arrest her, she drops her phone. As the police bring her out of the bank, she sees hundreds of fans and followers with signs screaming for her. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy and hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice just to be sure. You should watch the full movie. Thank you very much for watching.